sitting on the employee's desktop, and it keeps doing the capture, all the capture again, but in a very stealth mode. So it keeps capturing the data, bringing it to the server, and the server has the absolute the know-how of how the envisioned process has been done. So that I did the capture at one time. I created the process flow. Now this capability captures all that data and analyzes it across how the process has been, how the to be process has been constructed, and this is how it keeps checking and doing predictive analysis of the process, and gives the organization or the process heads the insight that where are the deviations happening, how is the AST going, how is the total process performance going. It actually do all of that. I will just hand it over to Vijay to explain more on this.
So the entire application flow. So typically in a process mining space, what happens is they will take the application log and they will do it. In our case, what we are doing is from the captured data, which will from the various user, we will do a task mining of that. From the task mining data, we elevate to the next level of process mining with the association of process. So once we do a process that, we will identify the process variations, deviations, and the process map, how and the complaints, errors, is there any deviations, all those things we will discover during the phase, and we will create an end-to-end SOP of the process actually. Apart from that, we will take the compliance document, we will fed into the fine-tuning model to check whether it is any compliance issues are there. All this information we will once again give it to our pre-trained LLM, where we will train the data, and then once the data is done, then we will deploy onto our server. From there, whenever questions asked by the SMEs or some business experts, where I want to understand where the complaints is there, we will start providing the insights. The insights should be productivity insights, comparison, where the deviations in the task level as well as the process level. And then it will give a higher, this gives a higher 360-degree view of holistic view of the entire process from the department level as well as functional level. And these are the couple of application screenshot. This is a desktop capture where you use a capture, and here they can generate the end-to-end SOP document, how the entire transaction happens. And then we have a dashboard about productivity, performance wise, user wise, department wise, comparison report, and other things. Apart from that, we have a various process level KPI we are having on top of that.
Yeah, so this is unique there are a lot of these process visualization tools available out in the market, and enterprises have their own performance management capabilities also. But where we augment that by bringing in our visualization, which is enabled by a capability of AI, I would say, wherein in real time I am capturing the data. At the same time, I am mapping it with the 2B KPIs, and then providing them a lot of insights and insights about not only about how the process is performing as per the 2B process defined, but also highlight the deviations. It can also make recommendations, which is like, let's say there is a SME in the process which is doing a transaction in a defined KPI of 10 minutes, and there is another SME that who for a consistent period of time has been able to optimize that time to 8 minutes. It makes recommendation to the manager that would you like to analyze the rest of the data as per the 8 minutes or 10 minutes. So those are the things that this capability can provide. This we have already covered. So we also believe that the whole aspect of process mining is increasingly moving towards process intelligence. So the traditional way of looking at the process view as per how it happened is increasingly moving to how it is happening. So that is where our product fits very, very well. And as the market is going, as the AI is accelerating, we believe that we are getting prepared to capture that part of the market, and our fitment will be very high in that part of in that opportunity set. We have covered this, I think. Yeah. So that's what our presentation. I hope we are in time.
We can talk about patent possibly.
Yeah. So we also have across these capabilities. We have patents around 11 patents.
Yes.
Yeah, we have
11 patents that we
and
have.
7 are in patent pending actually.
Yeah, 6 are approved and 7 are in patent pending.
2 are India and
2 are Indians and 5 from USA.
US.
Yeah. So some of these are real technologies that we have worked upon, and they have been recognized as well.
We still have 3 minutes if there's anything else that we want to say.
We'll conclude with that with the Q&A if you need it. We'll keep the timer for the Q&A in case jurors have multiple questions.
Awesome. Sure.
Or do you want to use the time for your presentation?
No, we can continue with Q&A.
We can continue with Q&A.
Yeah.
Praveen, keep the
I
timer
think
on.
a lot of context was already built up in the last presentation itself.
Yes.
So you earlier presentation, you claimed that your system and your capabilities are more on process discovering, and here you're talking about process insight. So these patents which you have filed, these are filed or granted, or that's the one question number one. Number two, these patents are in the process discovery or process insight.
So from the current one, it is in a patent pending. It is
Okay.
we just filed it. It is going on. We have other patent as well apart from this, from the capture, and some of them in the other sector. We have get a couple of patents on top of that actually.
That has been granted.
It is granted actually.
So 6 of them has been granted, Mr. Bhupesh. There are, I think,
7 in pending.
7 in pending.
Yeah. 5 international patents, 2 Indian patents, 2 were granted last year.
But for what specific?
so I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. So the process discovery that we call, it has 2 parts. One, it has multiple ways how it do the discovery of the process. At the core of it is a component what we call the capture component, and capture has different variations.
Okay.
It can capture in an assisted mode, which is somebody capturing the process, guiding the capture how to capture. There is a remote capture also, or unassisted capture, which is happening in stealth mode, which feeds into this analytics capability that you just saw. Then there are a lot of times.
So you got the patents. So you got the patents for process of process discovery.
Yeah,
Process discovery.
Process discovery.
Okay.
Discovery,
Okay.
and there is one patent more that we got was primarily for our ability to generate automation for automation tools like UiPath, Blue Prism, out of the discovery data itself without doing much of coding. It automatically generates code wherever it finds a repetition.
The patent was titled Process Discovery and Automatic Robotics Script Generation for Distributed Computing Resources.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Professor Preslav, your question.
Yeah, so I have my first question is, it's not exactly clear to me how this solution, to what extent this solution differs from the previous one, because both are about process discovery. So can you kind of explain I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, so Professor, the way you have to see is that what we showed earlier was an AI assistant, which works with the employees while they are doing they are operating on their process with real-time guidance. Let's say. The second capability that we shown is for the process manager, who is actually managing the operations of that process and wants to have real-time insights into how my process is operating. Now, for both these capabilities, which are for both these personas, Discover is the capability which helps me first to gather the know-how of the process and then assemble them into process documentation, which gives a good view to the process manager that how your existing processes are operating. And using my tool, they can design their to-be processes. Now, once the to-be processes has been defined, that is what the Discover is. The to-be processes are defined. The process manager have to operate that to-be process. That is where analytics comes into play, wherein they can now understand that the to-be process is operating as it was envisioned. And the co-pilot actually works with the employees to make them more productive work with new employees to reduce their time to competency.
But I mean, I still kind of think that this kind of analytics you can build probably based on the data from the other product as well, right? So if you are monitoring what employees do, you can actually kind of discover the processes, the repetitive actions, and so on, and you can offer this information to the process manager.
Yeah, so our niche comes from our discover capability, because to discover a process, either you have to go for a consulting kind of an effort, or you have to spend your own effort to understand the process better. But that is where MeitDiscover makes it more effective and efficient, because we reduce that time of discovery. Second, we do it with a very high level of accuracy. Now, because I am doing it with a very high level of accuracy, my ability to then provide meaningful insights in analytics is higher. I know there are visualization products out there, there are reporting products out there. We basically differ from them because they have to spend a lot of time into reaching a state of accuracy, which is, I'm not saying that they cannot do it, but yes, ours is embedded in the platform, that the discover will happen accurately, hence the other parts will work in the same way.
So who are your competitors, and how do you what is the advantage? Is the advantage in the process discovery? Is it in the fact it's actually integrated into the client side without need to accessing the cloud and leaking information outside of the organization?
So our whole stack goes into the enterprise. So we do a dedicated implementation or on-site implementation. We don't do cloud implementation because we know there would be concerns. So though we have capability available, but we don't promote it or do it as much. That is point number one. Point number two, our competition set is pretty diverse. So let me come to say that now when it comes to discover, there is competition like Scan AI, Scrut, Celonis task mining, UiPath task discovery. I forgot the name. So those are the kind of competition that we have on the discovery side. On the visualization side, you will have Power BI, you will have Tableau, you will have there are similar tools, which actually do visualization, help in visualization. But those tools have to be configured to set to these KPIs, and then they have to be fine tuned. But our platform, because it's based on Discover, it actually naturally renders itself, and you can do the analytics or the process analysis much faster than the comparative products. On the Copilot side, I would have to say that I haven't found much of a competition yet, though there is a lot of work that is happening there. But I think we have because our ability to train these SLMs faster gives us an edge to enable this faster for the enterprise.
Thank you. Professor Kaslav, do you have any question, Madhu?
I'd like to give some time to the other
examiners. Okay, sure. Dr. Gagan, your question, sir.
So can you please again elaborate on the privacy aspects? And this is privacy from the perspective of the user. I mean, while we are working and doing some task, sometimes we may check our emails, sometimes we may do something, right? Like, answer to some messages. So how does the system actually recognize such events, and then we should ignore them? And I'm assuming you are taking recordings of the desktop and everything, right? Like the screen is being recorded, every action. So does this concern like come from your clients? And have you like done something already to solve this?
Yes, sir. This concern do come from our client, and it's a very relevant question, sir. For that, what we do is that while we do the discovery, you can configure the discover and either whitelist applications or blacklist applications. So whatever is put into whitelist is only what will be captured. So let's say if somebody opens up their personal email like a Gmail, or for that matter, opens up the WhatsApp desktop, if they are not in the whitelist, they will not be captured. Or for that matter, if there are capabilities in the blacklist, let's say somebody has opened up a YouTube video and you have blacklisted it, so that will not be captured. But rest everything will be captured.
And how does that relate to the process? Because it has interfered in the process. So our
Yeah,
understanding of the process which was going on may get messed up because of these interruptions.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
those
from the
were,
discover, sorry, please go ahead.
no, how is that handled basically? Is it like is it something we just erase those times or we accommodate for it? And maybe it was that there was a lag in the other, like process. So the user said, okay, let me do something else in that time to save it. And like it may be like many other reasons, right? Why someone need
Yeah.
jump application.
Yeah, we have application categorization as well as time categorizations. What happens is when they're working on an exclude application, so white blacklist application, we'll measure the time and we'll say he worked on the exclude applications, and those data are not captured, but it will be shown on the reports. So they will clearly know whether they worked on whitelist application, when they worked on blacklist applications, and whether if they lock the systems, even those details also will capture. So apart from that, we have the think time also. For example, when the user is reading a longer mail and it is a blacklisted, we know is thinking, that information also it's captured.
Yeah, so long story, sorry, making it short for you, sir. We capture it, we can categorize the data while the capture is happening, including the blacklist and whitelist, but without the content. We don't capture anything on the content. Yeah, which means that anything that has to go into process design, that will not be considered, but that is available as a data point in the capture data.
And this is
To
happening at the client itself, right? Because if
Yeah,
it
it is
got
happening in the
captured
client.
somewhere, then it is again a risk, right? A privacy
Yeah,
risk.
yeah, absolutely. This is happening in the client environment only. Yeah, and I also wanted to highlight one more thing, sir. While the capture is happening, we have created a capability in our Discover that it can automatically redact, PII and PFI information if somehow it got captured. So it can automatically redact that. While the process documentation is created, or any data is used for, let's say, learning purpose also, the PIA data will be redacted and it will be replaced with some sample data, or some
Anonymized.
yeah, some placeholder data.
Okay, I mean, so there's one more thing. I mean, when we are capturing processes in any organization, there's like capabilities of workers. I mean, even the people with the same profile, some people may be more efficient and less efficient, and some people have a faster way of doing things. So, is this something you have asked the managers to like, annotate or tell you, or is the system intelligent enough to figure this out? Like it's a very big opportunity also to study the variations and determine which variations are the best way to do a task. I mean that's where like sort of the yeah, I mean just small short time is left, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So very small shot. This actually is done in the analyze capability or the process insights that we just showed you. This variation is absolutely captured. That within the same steps, there is a proper there is an employee who is able to do it in X, and here are the set of users who are doing it in Y. So that kind of visibility the manager do get. They can then drill down into the reason. That's another capability that it has.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gagan. Thank you, jurors, for your questions. Team represents, your time is up for the Q&A, and I presented the innovations, the two of the innovations and the Q&A as well. Wish you the best with the innovation. We will sharing a link in the chat box. Shweta, please do copy the link before we do